Great. I am going to, so this is a presentation really about global marketing agent and really on how it all started to, as far as also what agents are capable of doing with this very unique concept in marketing, and also to differentiate yourself to be really a global agent. And so, yes, you are a local agent, but then, just really adding on to the global part of it, to where I know that we've discussed here with some of the members, with baby boomers, obviously, with a lot of now people really comfortable to moving to different countries. That is for different lifestyles. It could be for healthcare purposes, and for many, many other reasons as well on the investing part of it. And so the introduction part of global marketing agent is quite simple. It was a concept that was started back in 2006, 2007. And the actual name of global marketing agent used to be called IRES, International Real Estate Specialist. And we quickly trained and enrolled thousands of agents all over the world, really kind of teaching them on different particulars that I'm going to take you through today. And one of the biggest misconceptions to global marketing agent is the fact that a lot of times agent thinks that we're going to only teach you on how to sell real estate outside of your own jurisdiction. So if you're an agent in the US, a lot of these agents think, oh, this program is strictly about learning on how to sell in different countries, different areas of the world. And really it's far from that, because before you can start selling to these clients that you will begin to find out within even your sphere of influence already own home outside of your own jurisdiction, you'll see and discover that this concept really start locally. I mean, it really has to be so important on how you roll this program out to your sphere of influence. And so today we're going to cover a few things. Number one, how to legally borrow listings from other global marketing agents to what I call building your global real estate portfolio. Why only market properties locally that you have in your local market, when now you're going to be able to go to the global marketing agent platform with the new technology that we have and look at a map, obviously, of the world, and you will see dots on the maps where properties are able or available, I should say, for you to really contact the marketing agent, or actually the listing agent, and for you to start marketing these properties to your sphere of influence on your social media platforms, on your website. We'll give you some ideas on how you can really, again, kind of create a wow factor to a lot of your clients that you have. Number two, we'll talk about how to knock out your competition and get more listings locally. And this is, again, very important. In my opinion, a listing presentation from one brokerage to the other really sounds the same. Yes, obviously, you've got the Remaxes and Coldwell Bankers and EXPs, but at the end of the day, most agents offer the same value. And so this is going to be very unique as to what we call co-marketing your local listing with other global marketing agents in the concept, into the network, for you to create true global exposure. Because there's a huge difference by posting a listing on a .com and actually doing the co-marketing techniques. And so you'll see on how that moves, on how that operates, and how to connect the dots. And truly, amazingly, it works a lot. Now with a lot of companies creating a lot of data as to what's called real estate migration patterns, to where now you can look at a city and actually you will see where the buyers are coming from. And so when you're able to present this data as well to your sellers and explain to them with the co-marketing on how it kind of perfectly syncs together, this is where you will be able to speak a different marketing language and obviously get more listings at the end of the month, at the end of the year, because you will be very different than your competitors. Thirdly, we'll talk about how to take your business to the next level, which is this one, securing listings globally. And this is something that a lot of agents do not realize, is the fact that, let's say again, if I'm an agent in Dallas, Texas, in the United States, yes, my license confines me to the area of Dallas, Texas, but through our concept, we are able to provide you not only the education, but all of the global marketing agreements for you to be able to take secure listings anywhere around the world without you being licensed in another state, in another province, and another country. And so this is really the mind-blowing part of the presentation, to where a lot of agents realize, like, oh, wow, I really did not know I could do this. And Article 11 out of the Code of Ethics of NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, as you know, actually tells you that you are able to do these transactions. There's just, again, a process to be done. And this is where the GMA comes in. We have laid out the process for you. We hold your hand through the process. We give you all the global marketing agreements for you to be able to do that. We'll talk about capturing expired listings. Obviously, in the last 6 months, a year, expired listing were a thing of the past, but they are coming back on the market. You'll see a lot more expired listings, and the expireds that make a lot of sense with the GMA or listings that are higher in price within your market. So if your median price in your market is, let's say, $500,000, then this is where we're going to educate you on going to listings that are $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, and even as high as you want to, because these sellers, these listings that are obviously staying on the market a little bit longer, especially now with the interest rates and everything that is going on, they are looking for different ways to market their properties. And the co-marketing system is, again, something very unique that is going to give you that edge and opportunity, again, to be able to really impress these sellers. Instantly tap into the luxury real estate market. This is something really interesting. And I think we'll all agree to this. Most luxury sellers will really trust you with their listing if they know you've never listed $1 million listing before, and whatever that may be in your market. Obviously, if you're in California, $1 million is really a average price. So again, it's all about you being able to showcase to that luxury seller with your global real estate portfolio, which I was discussing with you the first thing on the Zoom, and then I'm going to show you in the next slide, is again being able to legally borrowing listings from other agents who have these amazing listings. We've got, agents who have listings from the million all the way up to tens and $15 million listings. And again, that instant credibility, again, kind of fake it until you make it mentality of it all. This is going to really help you open a lot of doors to saying to that seller locally, say, if this seller with their $5 million listing in Arizona is trusting me, why can't you trust me when I live down the street? And again, this is the whole perception of it all, to where it's going to give you those opportunities. Social media, obviously, today is key to everything in your marketing, in your sphere of influence, and how you target them, how you generate more business from them. And so this is going to be key to where we're going to help you with some of the marketing techniques that we've done in the past. Again, this is not rocket science, but this takes consistency. And consistency is the key to social media marketing. It's not being able to post a property, once and expect, miracles to happen. You're going to be able to do this consistently. And again, this is part of where we can, we have Zooms on a monthly basis to kind of keep you accountable to this, because again, this is an organization, as you will see, that loves to share, loves to collaborate. And so you'll have a lot of agents who are going to give you their inputs on what works, on what doesn't. And again, this will be a great opportunity for you to create some referrals and really some great opportunities for you to come your way. And you'll learn the truth about doing business outside of your local marketplace. Again, it goes back to the word of the day for me is consistency, is being able to do it religiously, to set up on a weekly or, every 2 weeks or a monthly basis to where you're going to be doing these things. You're going to take, we'll talk about that in the next slide. And the bottom line is to keep your clients for life. People, like I said earlier, people are moving in more than ever. Now you've got, COVID, who brought in, what they call them, actually companies who are not comfortable with their sales team living in different locations around the world. And so people are moving more than ever. And so this is an opportunity for you to keep your clients for life. If they want to buy or sell anywhere around the world, this is where we're going to educate you in the GMA value proposition for you to explain and educate to your sphere of influence that you're going to be able to hold their hand through the process, buying or selling anywhere around the world. And so here's the first slide of the day that is going to teach you a few things that are truly, in my opinion, one of the greatest thing you can do in your business. It's to legally borrow listings from other global marketing agents. This concept is so simple. And this is something, again, that has evolved tremendously because, as I mentioned earlier, this company, this program has been around for now over 17 years. We've trained thousands of agents all over the world, and we never had the technology nor the process to do this in a way that is going to save you a lot of time. In the past, obviously you had to contact the agents. And again, this is going to date us, but when we created this concept, we did not have social media. And so it was far more complicated to kind of knowing when these listings would be available. And now really it's just for you to log into Global Marketing Agent, going into the back end of it, and going into the listing section of the back end of GMA, and looking at the world map and looking as to where these listings are, putting your mouse onto that dot, clicking on the listing, and there it will tell you everything you need to know about the listing agent, the forms that you need to do, because this has to be done legally. And I want you to hear this very clearly from me, that there are a lot of agents in the business today that will find these little tricks on how to legally, not legally, I'm sorry, on how to market other agents' properties without the authorization of the listing agent and the seller. And that is not legal. If anyone tells you that it is, then they don't know what they're talking about. And so it's very clear, the laws in this business, you need the authorization, written authorization from the seller, from the listing agent, for you to be able to market that property or those properties just like if they were your own properties. What that means is that if I have a listing, again, in Dallas, Texas, in the United States, and you are an agent in Spain or an agent in California, and you go to the GMA network, you click on Dallas, Texas, and you want to market my listing, you will see that all the work has been done with the agreements. It's going to be very simple. Obviously, there's some education that you need to take because we want to make sure that all the agents in the concept understand the things that they can and the things that they cannot do. Again, there's a lot of regulations to this, but if you do it correctly, the sky's the limit. I mean, truly, you can borrow as many listings as you want. You can create your own little MLS if you want. A lot of agents, what they do on their websites, which is a great thing, on their websites at the top, they'll go click here to view my local listings, click here to view my international listings, and then they'll do a slogan like, ask me how to market your property to the world. And so again, this is where the creativity of you as a business owner or joining this group to, again, collaborate, share ideas, you'll learn a lot of these different marketing techniques for you to utilize these listings to your advantage. And so here, as you can see, the process is to contact a global marketing agent. The forms now are done electronically. You can literally sign these forms with your finger on your cell phone, which is incredible. Again, we didn't have the opportunity to do so in the past. And so now with the technology and the process is done smoothly for you to know exactly where you need to sign, what you need to agree to the terms. It's really just incredible. And so here, as you will see, you'll be able to upload these listings to your website. Here on the slide, it says your MLS. Believe it or not, and this is some MLSs, not all MLSs in North America, but I would say that a lot of them now, because we are in 2023, will allow their agents to put properties that are outside of your jurisdiction. If you want to check out if your MLS does it, go to your MLS and look at properties in areas called either out of area or others. And so right now, if you went into the Dallas MLS or the Houston MLS, Miami MLS, Los Angeles MLS, you're going to see that in those out of area or others, there are properties all over the world. They're not only outside of Texas, but they're outside the United States. And again, the MLS is not everything to marketing a property. And so again, this is, putting a property in the MLS is that obviously the IDX number is connected to your website and the information can be easily transferred. These are things, again, that you will learn through the GMA training on little things that you can do to really help you market these properties. And then here, the key is implement a marketing campaign. You have got to market these properties. And so you'll see, again, we've got an area to where we give you some examples that says, it could be new listing alert or weekly listing or monthly listing. And, this week is listings in Spain, or next week it's listings in Portugal, and so forth and so on. And so really, try to embrace this concept. If you have a sphere of influence that is very golf oriented, then take listings that are on the golf course. If you love yachting, then take listings that are around yachting communities. And so whatever it is, really try. If you're French and you live in America, then take listings that are in France. Try to connect these dots, because this is how the referrals are going to start coming in. So the result here is you being a local agent, but globally connected. And here is the key to this. And a lot of people always kind of frown when I say this, but there are a lot of brokerages out there that are global. Remax, Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, EXP, Sotheby's. But hear me out. By being an agent of these brands, because they are global, does not make you a global agent, okay? It's one thing to say it, it's another to show it. And the only way that you can really make the connection for agents, or not agents, but your clients to see you as a global agent, is for you to take listings that are outside of your jurisdictions. They will start seeing you at the grocery store or at the restaurant down the street, and they will come up to you and say, "Oh my God, Jody, I just saw this listing you've got in Portugal, or this listing you've got in Brazil. How did you do that? Did you travel to Brazil? Are you licensed in Brazil?" And these conversations is exactly what you're trying to do on your social media. This is why you post things on social media, is to start conversations. Then here is the best conversation starter, in my opinion, in the real estate business. Legally borrow listings from other agents. All right, this slide here is great because this is your local business. And it doesn't matter where you are locally. Again, hear me out. Every other agent down the street is going to offer the same thing. And listing presentations, you've been in this business, you know what you offer. And guess what? What you offer is exactly what the other agents offer as well. You may have more followers, you may have more social media platforms, but at the end of the day, it's all the same. It sounds the same. It is the same. This co-marketing here is really, to me and to us, the way to win more listing presentations. And at the end of the day, here's the key. That you go on $100,000 listing or a $10 million listing, you have and you must present this. If you do not present this, I don't even know where to start with this, because it will be your fault. This here is so simple to present, and we have Zooms to where we take you through the objections, as you will see, because there are some questions and there are some rejections sometimes from the sellers. But if you do this correctly, if you do this well, I promise you the seller will realize that there is absolutely no risk whatsoever to co-market a property. And I want to say this again, there are zero risk to a seller, wherever he is or she is located, to do the co-marketing. So here, as you can see on the slide, there's a green dot, which is Chicago, Illinois. And then you see another arrow on the top that's going to Seattle, Washington. And then you'll see another arrow going to Miami, Florida. So the local agent is in Chicago, Illinois. And the local agent has an opportunity to go on the listing presentation. And so he goes onto the listing presentation, and the seller says to him or her right from the start, like, I've interviewed other companies prior to you, so I just want to be, fair, and, please go ahead and tell us what you can do for us. So the local agent here is going to tell that seller everything and anything that they can do locally. It's from, obviously the MLS, open houses, the sign in the yard, everything and anything that you do locally, your social media platform, the posting it on the brokerage website. And there, this is where the local agent needs to speak and to say, I'm also part of this global network, and it's called Global Marketing Agent. We have a script that you can follow. This organization has been around since 2006. It's trained thousands of agents all over the world. And what this organization teaches us is to collaborate and to co-market each other's properties around the world. No seller, I'm going to tell you this, is going to know what co-marketing means. And so this is where you will explain to them. And we have a slide that you can incorporate into your own listing presentation package. And it's actually this slide. And what I'd like to do is essentially we're going to make a worldwide slide, because I know that a lot of you are all around the world. So to make sense, but here you will show your seller on the screen, or on a piece of paper, however you do your local listing presentation, to explain to them, your property is in Chicago. What I'm going to try to do is to figure out where the buyers are coming from through different websites that offer us the data. And Mr. Seller, this is called real estate migration patterns. And obviously, I know this because I've done this, but in Chicago, Illinois, you've got a lot of Minnesota, you got a lot of Wisconsin, you got a lot of New York, and you got a lot of Canadians, okay? And so once you know that, Mr. Seller, what I'm going to do now is, after we're done with the paperwork and you agree to me listing the property, of course, I'm going to find agents in these locations, and we're going to do the proper paperwork, global marketing agreements for us, meaning the seller and the local agent, to give these other agents the full marketing rights to do whatever they want within limitations with that listing, meaning that when we give it to other agent in Wisconsin or in Minnesota or in New York, they're going to do what they do when they have a new listing. Their social media platforms, their brokerage's website, they're going to plaster it everywhere and anywhere. Because for an agent in New York to have now a listing in Chicago is a golden opportunity for that agent in New York. So that agent in New York wants to spread it everywhere he or she can, because that's the goal to this concept. How many co-marketing agents can you have on a listing? And Mr. Seller, the answer is unlimited. We can have as many agents as we want to co-market your property. So Mr. Seller, essentially what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to build my own army of agents wherever in the world it makes sense to market, promote, advertise, and find a potential buyer for your property. This is where we come in with the different commission structure. Sometimes the seller will say, I love the concept, but I'm not willing at this point to add any more on top of the local listing, percentages. Some sellers will say, absolutely. Let's say that if we do not set fees, I want to make this very loud and clear here, but let's say that In America, most fees are 6%, which is going to be 3% for the buyer's agent, 3% for the selling agent. And a lot of sellers who truly understand this will actually give that agent extras, meaning 7%, 8%. Sometimes even, believe it or not, and this may be shocking to you, 10% listings. And I did say 10%. If it is presented correctly, if the price of the property is high enough to where the seller is going to understand, do we want to keep doing price reduction after price reduction? This is, again, the whole education of this. It's going to make you understand on how to present the different the different commission structures, kind of like an a la carte presentation. Mr. Seller, here is 6%, here's 7%, here is 8%. And believe it or not, it works every time. Because if the seller understands that at the end of the day, if the buyer comes locally, the buyer comes from Chicago, tomorrow, even after you've negotiated higher fees, the listing fee will always stay at 6%. All the other co-marketing agents around the world will be notified instantly through this technology that we've created to say, hey, listing is going under option, listing is sold. Please take everything off of your marketing campaigns. And it's that simple, to where all the other co-marketing agents who did not bring a buyer to the table will not be part of the transaction at the end of the day. So if it comes locally, the fees always stay at what the fees are locally. If the buyer comes from outside, this is where, again, the commission structure and the creativity of the listing agent on how to distribute those fees come in. And this is the education that we provide in Global Marketing Agent. This is the unique value proposition that we give to you as education for you to educate your sellers. And I will guarantee you this, and obviously this is recorded. If you do this correctly, and if it's done correctly, you will get more listings at the end of the year. I guarantee it. If you don't, if you try this the first time, if you become a member and you try this and it didn't work out, I will have a personal session with you for me to explain to you until you get it from A to Z, all of it. Because once you understand it, this is not rocket science, and it works every single time. That it is a $100,000 listing or a $10 million listing. Every seller in the world wants true global exposure for their property. And so this here, again, is a slide that you will get a lot of training on. Again, it's the co-marketing. And all of this, by the way, on the co-marketing is done now electronically. The technology allows you to have tens, 20, hundreds of agents around the world that are going to be able to co-market your property in literally minutes. And I said minutes. And I was joking earlier about 2006 and no social media. We used to do this through faxes. Okay, so imagine the amount of paperwork, the amount of time that it took. Now with the technology and where we are, this is truly unbelievable on what you're going to be able to do with co-marketing. This slide here is a little bit more complicated, but this here is after everything that you've seen so far from the presentation. Once you borrow listings, once you do announcements on social media, once you start creating this new listing presentation package to your clients, you're going to get a lot of referrals that are going to come from outside. And I would like to challenge you right now. You can do a survey to your sphere of influence. And on the survey, do a survey to where it asks questions, very particular questions. Do you own a home outside of wherever you are right now watching this video? So if you're in Dallas, Texas, do you own a home outside of Texas? Do you own a home outside of the United States? Have you ever thought about it? Where would you buy? Pricing. Why would you move to these locations? Create a survey. This is so unique. And you're going to find out that a lot of your clients already have homes outside. In Texas, they own homes in Colorado, in Utah, in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, in different parts. You'll be shocked. And it's the same thing if you're in Florida, same thing if you're in California, same thing if you're in Spain. Maybe they own a home in the south of France or in Italy. It doesn't matter where you are. This is something I challenge you to, because it really is going to shock you. And what's going to shock you the most is that it's going to make you sick to your stomach. Because once you're going to start to realize on how many of your clients, and I mean close clients, have bought real estate without you outside of your marketplace, you're going to think, what is going on here? And the reason why is they never called you when they wanted to buy that house outside, because they only know you to be the Dallas local expert or the Miami local expert. When they want to buy real estate in France, or they want to buy real estate in Utah or wherever it is, they're going to go on the internet and type in Park Cities, Utah real estate, and they're going to call the listing agent of that property, and now they have a new agent. And this is where this concept is going to allow you to stop these referrals and these opportunities to go without you. This is for you to start educating every single person in your sphere of influence to say, it doesn't matter buying or selling, anyone you know or yourself, I am that agent. And when you start doing that, and everyone in your sphere of influence is able to be that spokesperson for you, the amount of opportunities will come your way. And this is where this slide comes in. I can guarantee you that one day someone will call you in your sphere of influence, connected to the first level, second, however level, and they will say, hey, Ashley, I've seen all these wonderful properties you've got around the world, and you're a global agent, you can buy, sell, and I've got a family member who has a home in London, England, and they are ready to sell it. Can you help us? And the answer is absolutely yes. This concept, the GMA concept, will show you on how to secure listings anywhere around the world without you being licensed in another state, province, or country. You're an agent in Dallas, Texas, and you want to take a listing in France, you can. You don't have to do the old referral way, right? The old referral way, which is to go to your brokerage company and to find a referral in France and to send them a 20 or 25% referral fee, hoping that everything is going to go correctly. Because most of the time, and hear me out, most of the time, it does not, for a lot of reasons. And so this is an opportunity for you to take full control and handle all of your referrals, no matter what. And this is different than a referral, because here you're actually going to make more money. And within the training, you will see an example of this slide right here when I do an example of $1 million property, as to how much money you would make if you referred it out the old referral way, and how much money you would make with the same $1 million property with this concept. And that number in your commission quadruples. But at the end of the day, what's more important is that you've kept your client for life. And that testimonial and that connection is far more important than anything in your business. And so here, as you see, this is you in your marketplace in the top left, and your client's property is, as you can see, is outside. So let's just pick again Dallas, Texas. So this is you in your own marketplace, would be Dallas, Texas. Then the arrow to the right says your client's property is outside of your local marketplace. And let's pick Mexico. We're going to pick Cancun, Mexico. And so now, what do? Your client calls you, say, hey, I've got a listing in Mexico. Very simple. We have an agreement, which is pretty much the equivalence of a listing agreement in your local area. It establishes everything between you and the seller. Duration of the agreement, commission, pricing, just everything and anything. Once you have that agreement between you and the seller, now you need to find an agent where the property is located. And this is where Article 11 of the Code of Ethics of NAR comes in. You're going to find an agent through the GMA network who is going to do an agreement with you called the co-brokerage agreement. That agreement pretty much says that that agent in Cancun, Mexico becomes your eyes and ears, your new best friend, whatever you want to call it. That person is going to do everything locally that you need to do. The proper paperwork of where the property is located, taking pictures, putting the sign in the yard, putting the property in a, similar MLS, kind of technology, because again, we're going to teach you that in a lot of these countries, there is no MLS. And so how do you do it? And again, that's part of the GMA education. But now that you and the co-brokerage, or the co-broker, I should say, have all the agreements in place, pricing, commission, the pictures, the listing is ready to go live. The listing will be obviously in Cancun, Mexico, and the listing also is going to be with you in Dallas, Texas, because you are a global marketing agent. So you're going to promote it all over. You're going to put it in your Dallas MLS. You're going to put it on your social media, on your brokerage website, everywhere. But why stop there? You're going to have a conversation with the co-broker and say, hey, by the way, who buys real estate in Cancun, Mexico? And who better to know who buys than local people? And he's going to say, well, the entire Northeast, we've got a lot of Europeans, we've got Canadians, we've got people from everywhere. So now you are going to contact other marketing GMA agents in those areas for them to co-market your listing. They're going to, again, be your army of agents wherever in the world it makes sense to find a buyer for Cancun, Mexico. And so this concept, again, is so unique. It's set up for you from step 1 to step 10. You don't have to think about the agreements or how you're going to find an attorney that is going to be able to create all these agreements, which, by the way, will cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. You have no idea. And most of these international attorneys are not going to have the education and the knowledge that our attorney had and has. And so he has been with us since day 1 of this program. These agreements have been vetted by every brokerage around the world, as you can imagine, since we've trained agents from every single brokerage. And so the validity of these agreements are absolutely on point. You are, of course, welcome to check with your broker or, an attorney if you want validation that these were, these are done correctly. This is something that, we actually, make you sign at the beginning of the training, is that, if you want, you're able to have someone take a look at them. But here, again, it gives you an opportunity, as you can see, to be able, the agent, to take listings all over the world. And as, like I said earlier, the commission structure, the fee structure is so different. At the end of the day, you're making money locally. Why not do it globally? And so the education of this will definitely help you and open your eyes. A lot of you will just kind of realize on how many deals that you've lost. And now here's your opportunity to never, ever lose one. So how to instantly tap into the luxury market. I'm almost done with the presentation. And I'll have Ashley kind of come in and kind of talk to us a little bit about the technology part of it here in the next 3 slides. But as you can see here, fact number 1, most luxury sellers will rarely give you their listings until you can show them you have such listings. That fact is so real. Most agents spend years trying to secure luxury listings, if ever. We've got a lot of testimonials, and you will see that the agents over the years really have been able to get into this niche, the luxury market. And so here, as you can see, you'll be able to contact global marketing agents who have $1 million listings anywhere around the world. And here, this is where you'll do the technology process, to where you will ask permission to that agent. The agent will give you the authorization. You'll do the agreements. The agreements will be signed. And again, it all goes back to the listing agent, to where that listing agent, the first thing he does, okay, fees or no extra fees, he will ask the seller if he is willing for the listing agent to co-market his property around the world. No seller will say no, okay? This is incredible, unique value proposition. And so again, the listing agent, the seller, all the authorizations are done. And here is begin marketing to luxury marketing areas. We've got some agents recently that did an expired listing for, I think it was around $3.5 million. She did a postcard and she advertised a beautiful luxury listing to say, hey, I would like to market your luxury listing to the world, just like I'm doing with this one. Opened the door, she got the listing, it was expired. We've got some others that, we've got a magazine as well that, we'll talk about, called Castles and Estates Magazine. This is a digital version. It's got a lot of beautiful properties around the world, and you will have a personal magazine that will allow you to send that to these luxury areas. Obviously, it's a digital magazine, so you'll have to get the email. But that, there are a lot of ways that you can do that with the sellers, expireds or even anyone really on the market will be able to see the Castles and Estates magazine. Global social media marketing is key to this. I know that all agents today are on at least 5 different platforms, and this is where the consistency has to be. I know that there is a company out there that once you do a post on your LinkedIn, it does it to all of your other social media platforms. I don't know the name of it, but you should look into it. It's a great platform to where it's time efficient, obviously, but the consistency here is key. First, and we've got a video right after you're done with the training to educate you, but first it comes from your posting the logo of Global Marketing Agent. We've got a badge of Global Marketing Agent. We've got a short announcement that needs to be on your social media, as simple as, hey everyone, as you can see here, I've been in the real estate business for the past 5 years, and now I've become a certified global marketing agent. Ask me how to market your properties to the world, and if you want to buy or sell anywhere around the world, I want to be your agent for life. Once you have done this post, then what's very important, as you can see here in the second bullet point, legally borrow listings. This is so important, because this will be the automatic connection. Even your spouse, your significant other, whomever, the day you take a new listing that is completely outside of your jurisdiction, you're going to get a ton of questions. Are you licensed in that state as well? When did you go to France to take this new listing? When did you go there? The questions will just keep coming. And this is where the conversations will start to say, oh my God, my wife and I were in Cancun last week. So funny you post this listing in Cancun, because we were thinking about looking at buying these condos. And so what these conversation starters is going to shake a lot of trees, to where people now are going to realize, like, oh my God, we need to talk to Jody about this, because she's got listings in Cancun and we're wondering about this. And the word for this slide is consistency. And I know I keep saying it, but I'm going to tell you this. If you do this consistently, I promise you the opportunities that are going to come your way are going to blow your mind. Because aside from this, there's other things that you can target in. There's the second home market. There are developers all around the world who are looking for global marketing agents, because they love this concept. Because why? Because realtors work for free. Yes, I said it. We work for free until we are paid. And the only time we're paid is when we sell. And developers will love you for that, because they don't have to spend a lot of money up front like they do with marketing companies to go in and spend thousands of dollars into this list and that list. This is what you do. And the list is your list and the list of every other GMA member. This is where you have to realize that the connection that you have now is no longer just your sphere of influence. It is connected by every agent in GMA. So if you've got 500 clients in your sphere of influence and every other GMA has the same number, just imagine now on how many thousands of people you're reaching. And so this is the power of GMA. So here's where I want to have Ashley just kind of tell us a few things here on what the technology and the map that I just mentioned on the back end of the portal.
Yeah, so we've been able to create a portal before, when you guys are doing this with thousands of agents, boots on the ground, literally lunch and learns, and I'm not going to say it, but you probably could have, you probably faxed some agreements back in the day, right? So we've upgraded all of that and created first the online course. So you sign up, register, you take your course. It's about, I think it's 11 different sections, 10 different videos, something like that. You can get it done in a couple hours. There's one quiz at the end just to make sure you absorbed all of the information and the learning. You do all of that online. You can do it from your cell phone. You get your certificate and you share that, and that just kind of, you know, validates you as a certified GMA agent. And then from there, the portal becomes just like you check MLS for new listings, right? You'll get a notification saying, hey, we got a new listing in this area. Do you want to co-market it? Click here. But you can also go into the portal and check those listings and click and open the documents from there and fill everything out. Everything is a form that is that separated the data from the document. I think a lot of people don't understand, even when you do DocuSign, right? Or an Adobe, fillable Adobe PDF, that's still just one image of a completed form, right? And so we've separated the data from the document to where we can make that data work for us and work smarter. So being able to fill out the forms right there, like he said, you can sign it on your phone, you can sign it on your tablet, whatever device you're on, you can fill out all of those co-marketing agreements and referral fees and all of that, as opposed to having to still go fill it in, download it, drop it into DocuSign, eSign, whatever, and then have to email back and forth with the other agent. It's all in one place. So everything can be accessed from the portal. And then we also have, I didn't put it on this slide, but we also have the member roster as well. So you get to go add yourself with your headshot. You can go find other GMA members that way, their contact information, all of that. And then the last piece that we're working on is the social media. We have a lot of static examples for you guys right now, but the last piece that we'll be adding is a kind of a dynamic template where you'll be able to just drop in your name, your contact info, and we'll have 3 or 4 different, packages where you can create your own social media posts with the listing photos and all of that stuff to go with it. So that will get a lot easier as well, because we have everything incorporated into the portal, and everything is digital and online, and no more email or back and forth and old school way of making the network work as powerfully for you as possible, right? So these are just the screenshots. When you do the certification, our first Wednesday meeting of the month is always the new member training. And that's where we'll walk you through and show you exactly how to access the portal, how to get those listing documents, how to add your own listings. So if you're a listing agent currently, this is a huge opportunity. And so you go in and add all of your active listings. And so that is all done through the system as well. And you upload everything and it's all done online. So that's the biggest, like really what we're calling this is GMA 2.0, right? That's our name for this, is this 2.0 version that's just made it that much more powerful of a network, because it's all online and accessible from anywhere. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that was perfect. Yeah, so we've got this is our badge that you'll have access to. And so, as Ashley was mentioning, we've got a couple Facebook groups. We've got one that is free, to where we provide just a lot of information, and we just try to build, a community. And then we've got a private GMA group, to where that one is very private, and it's for members only, to where we have announcements, we share testimonials, we share, obviously when the Zooms are, anything and everything. You've got questions. This is the perfect group for you to be kind of part of this community. And again, the great thing about this, and again, there are a lot of designations out there, programs, this and that, but really you'll find this group to be extremely collaborative. I mean, it truly amazes me at times, to where how much agents are willing to share. And so this is if you don't have to reinvent the wheel, sort of say, then this will be a perfect group for you to be a part of. We have an email support. This is, again, very important, because the first day that you're going to do a transaction in another country, another state from yours, it's going to feel like real estate 101. We are not a referral company, by the way. A lot of people ask me this all the time, like these are your commissions, your fees. We're just here to train and support. You know, that's what we do at the end of the day. And so, again, these are your fees. You know, that's strictly up to you. I was talking about the magazine. This is a great thing. The magazine, you can go on our site, theglobalmarketingagent.com, and click on resources. And you're going to see the Castles and Estates magazine, and there is just a sample page of what it's going to look like. But essentially, yes, you will have, it's part of your membership. The second page, I believe, will be all about you. It will have your picture, your contact info, and then you'll see the rest of the magazine will have a section to where it will say that, you know, for any information on this particular listing, please contact the agent that is located on page 2. So this is, again, an opportunity for you to take this magazine and just spread it to the world. You know, if you know people who own car dealerships or restaurants or anything in your area, go and talk to them and say, hey, I'm part of this network. I've got a great magazine. I come to your restaurant all the time, or I've bought some cars from you. Would you mind distributing my magazine to your client database? You know, if you don't ask, you'll never know. So don't be afraid to use this magazine really as just kind of like a very unique marketing tool that, again, you know, usually costs a lot of money to have. And so you'll have access to it. And so here's the pricing that we have. You know, we have obviously the pricing is gone up, but since we've always sold this designation, for you to know, since 2006, we were around the 500 to 600, actually, yeah, from 500 to $659 pretty much for all those years. And, you know, as everything with technology these days, you know, we just wanted to make sure that it was done correctly and done well. And so the money was invested into that, and obviously a lot of the customer support that we offer, which is, you know, we do 4 Zooms a month, which is quite a lot, because a lot of, you know, do not offer that. We've got the digital magazine, which, you know, you'll get your own personal magazine, which that's another part, which is so worth it. And so as you can see here, for US and Canada, a one-time payment is $997, and the renewals, as you can see, are less expensive, which is $497. And then we've got a monthly plan on US and Canada. As you can see, the first fee, or the first month, will be $297. The reason why it was set up that way, the technology it was, you know, just kind of a little trick that we played on the technology. But so the first fee will be $297, and then it's $97 a month for the first year. And as you can see, the renewal goes down to just $47 monthly. For all other countries, we do as well. We just want it to be, you know, I know that other countries, people ask me all the time. It's just different. Economies are different, and so we want to be sensitive to the different economies. And so as you can see, there's a one-time price of $497, and then there's a $47 a month as well, if you choose to. The great thing to this is we have an affiliate program that I didn't mention. And this affiliate program is pretty robust, meaning that we do these sessions for you to invite agents to come and learn more about Global Marketing Agent. And when you sign up to the affiliate program, you can actually make up to $150 per agent that you bring to the network. And so we've got agents in this network that you know, attract a lot of people to the GMA network. And so, you know, some agents in the past have made thousands of dollars monthly, just kind of in bringing people, because this is all about collaboration. And so this is why we want this group to grow. And like I said from the beginning, we have trained over 8,500 agents really in the last 17 years without any social media. And so this is very exciting for us, but as well for you, because the more we grow, the more opportunities for you, the more agents you can connect with, and the more properties you can actually have access to. So what I want to do is thank you so much for watching this Zoom today. please join our free Facebook group that I know we're going to post it at the bottom with this link where you can have access to it. Globalmarketingagent.com is the website where you can have more information about really everything and anything I just discussed today. And if you've got any questions, you can email us at info@globalmarketingagent.com. And so also, if you're watching this video and you were a previous member, please send me an email to info@globalmarketingagent.com, as we do have a discounted rate for you to have been a previous member of IRES or GMA. Okay, so we want to definitely give you that opportunity and discount as well. So thank you again for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.